good. It's a cleansing process. It's very cleansing. All right. Happy Tuesday. This is the only day that we have. This is it. This is it. Tomorrow, if I sit around and think about tomorrow, I'm making it up. If I sit around and ruminate on yesterday, I'm not exactly remembering every detail from the day, because if I said, what'd you eat for breakfast yesterday morning? Unless you're the kind of person that eats the same exact thing every single day, a lot of us are going to have to go, wait. And it'll take us a little bit. That memory recall, because it's a habitual action. So eating breakfast tends to be habitual. So therefore, we don't sit and mindfully eat. Spoon into cereal, cereal into mouth, chew 20 times. Breathe. Spoon into cereal, lift to mouth, into mouth, chew 20 times. You want a meditation practice, eat an entire meal that way. I met someone that was 30 days into mindfully eating. Her whole life had slowed down. 3 meals a day, mindfully, and she lost weight. Wow. Unbelievable, because the body had time to process each bite, and then as it's processing, the next one is slowly coming up and in. And she found that she wasn't eating and eating and eating and then going, oh, well, now I'm too full, because it takes a while for the brain to catch up with the stomach. It just, they don't click at the same time usually for most people. So that's a whole gut science thing. So eating mindfully 3 meals a day, she'd lost like 20 pounds. And she found she was eating about half of what she was normally eating. And she was satisfied. And the rest of her life had slowed down. Whoa. Yes, plenty of time for the information to get to the brain. So then she also noticed that when she ate things, she was real mindful. She was eating things that weren't good for her. Her body gave her signals. And she's like, oh, Note to self, body doesn't like that. Most of us don't find out till later, when acid reflux hits, or the gut cramps hit, or the diarrhea, or the constipation, or whatever kicks in. So it was a process, and it was hard, and she loved it. She just loved it. So all of this is the process, and today is all we have. So settle into today. Yeah, some of us have stuff that's out there on the horizon, you know? Oh, I'm supposed to travel. Huh, what happens if a travel ban pops up? Oh my God, wait, okay, just today, just today. So in this moment, today, right now, we've got Dadira, our hearing truth card. So breathe in, take that awareness inside as you settle into the soles of the feet. And the weight of the world slides off the shoulders. And the jaw loosens. And the breath starts to come a little more easy. It might take time to slow the breath down and deepen the inhalations and stretch out the exhalations. And at first, the body is going to want to fight, because the lungs are used to only being 1/3 full at any given moment in most of the day. So as you start to fill beyond 1/3, the body goes, okay, and then you may yawn. Go, oh, well, that's the beginning of the day or the end of the day, or it's nap time. But wait, continue breathing, lengthening, using the breath to draw the spine up in order to lighten the load in the abdominal region and on that low spine. And with every breath, see if like a layer can shift off. You know, a lot of people have been feeling very tight lately, like we're wrapped in saran wrap, we're in a bubble. Expand your energetic space. But continue to be aware of the boundary of that space. You don't want to fly away and fly apart. You want to contain just enough, not with control, but with purpose. So the Didira card says you have an intuitive ability to recognize truths of the spirit. Didira is an Australian Aboriginal term for the deep spiritual practice of reflective and respectful listening. It is a deep listening for truth beyond physical words and their logical meaning. It is the way the shaman hears with the soul. Through the power of his or her own inner experiences, the shaman is able to create spiritual wisdom for the community, bringing balance and unity between the realm of the Great Spirit and our earth. As one who holds the potential power of the shaman, it is part of your soul's journey to seek out deeper meaning, to never assume that the whole truth is revealed in what another says, and instead to listen carefully, sometimes even for the truth evidenced in what is not being said, but being communicated in other ways. Others will naturally be drawn to you for counsel, but you must be sure that loving wisdom is the source through which your counsel is gleaned. So we'll pause there. Witness the breath. Witness your energetic boundary. If it's moved out beyond the room, pull it back in some. Witness your spark, your life. Breathe around it. Hug it with the inhale. And on a really extended exhale, use the eyes within to hear a truth that might be knocking. But yet we might be pressing just to the side. I'll deal with that later. It could be that truth that leads to your ultimate unfolding. Be your own teacher. I'm just giving words and thoughts and ideas. Be your own teacher. Feel your truth. Hear your inner voice. Then connect that inner voice to the voice of your community, not to the entire world, but to your community that you have gathered close. To blend your truths. Not to everybody agree with each other, but to blend your truths as one voice. Give yourself one more inhale and exhale. When you're ready, release the hands down on either side. If your aura went too far, your thumbs are out and up, pull your aura in to about where your fingertips could tickle it to the side. Giving yourself a boundary, because boundaries are good. not a barricade. Both B words. One's a boundary, one's a barricade. We want the boundary there. Notice if you can feel its edges. And then flip the palms out like you're stopping a bus on either side. And then slide those hands up and over the top of the body. Connect the fingertips as well as you can up over the head. If you need to come out in front of the forehead, do that. You can always sweep side to side. And then sweep the hands down and out. And use this as a cleansing, as if you were inside of a mirrored egg. And it's cleaning day. And today is the day that you need to clean the inside of your energetic egg. So let the arms sweep in whatever directions they need to, cleaning up our energetic messes, because Lord knows I've got some messes going on. Gotta clean it really nicely. I think I've been egging the inside of my own energetic egg lately. There you go. Just moving through the shoulders, but we're doing it with purpose. And as you move, notice if there are any dents or scratches in your energetic egg. And if there are, pause there. And you healers out there, take some time to either knit that space closed or smooth it out, or just check in. I didn't even know that was there. So then start twisting side to side. Ori and I have been like lovingly twisting in and giggling at each other and then twisting the other way. If you're with somebody, lock eyes, even if you haven't been getting along lately. There's something about the power of the eyes. One more time to each side, getting that spinal twist in. Making sure that energetic space is nice and clean, opposite side. Sweep all the way up, touch your fingertips together, turning toward the center, step your feet wide, and then slide down toward the floor. If the elbows need to come into contact with the knees so the head can hang heavy, pause at the knees. But if you can come all the way down and in, you're going to bring the hands down and in and turn the fingertips toward each other and then press that into the floor together. And you'll get a really nice wrist stretch and forearm stretch. So a lot of the energy and the truth in the body lately, it's getting stuck in some of the joints because we're reaching for normalcy and we're clinging to our processes. And it can get really tight. So press and then start to flip the hands in different directions. So if you're on your elbows, flip one hand out and then the other. And then maybe stretch out, but move and find a fluidity as if you were kneading dough. If you need a pillow in front of you so that you can reach, beautiful. And then the backs of the hands. Make 2 bird beaks. And then flip the wrists and press the wrists down and in. If you're on knees, reach one wrist down with a bird beak in it, and then replace and reach the other. And then reach the other. You may never reach the floor, and that's not the judgment that we're looking for here. We're looking for that stretch through the top of the forearm, reaching and reaching. One more big breath as you really find those spaces in those wrists and hands. It may become a little uncomfortable. We're not supposed to find yoga and pain in the same statement, but I never promised we wouldn't find discomfort. And then release, take your bird beaks with you. As you come up, release and open the hands. Just let them float a moment. Open and wide. 2 receiver dishes, receivers of information. After they released the tension. Take that right hand out to the side, stop a cosmic bus. We're going to take the left hand onto that left hip, and we're going to turn like a sprinkler and look over the back of the chair. So it's like that. Just don't let it go back yet. Now, Ori's gotten kind of sassy over there. She put her hand on the wall. That gives her leverage. Ah, that's good. No, give you leverage. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Left hand comes to the left knee. That back hand turns up. We lean out over that left leg. Now, my mother says that sometimes it's hard to follow along. So here we're back here, and now we're up and over that thigh with that right arm. So I've got that Christmas song in my head. Do you hear what I hear? Do you hear it? Take that right hand, slide it down on the inside of the left ankle. Turn your heart with leverage in toward that left thigh. Squeezing out through that neurospinal space, where all of those messages come down through the spinal cord and shoot out through those main nerve pathways. The body can't hear when we've got too much energy built up around the spinal spaces. Release, sweep back, up, turning the heart to the right with just a nice big lift, hand on the thigh or forearm on the thigh. You could always stretch that hand out on the inside of the thigh and reach up. Big breath. And then that left hand comes down. We drop the head, elbows on thighs, and just hold. But if you think of your nervous system as a listening device. So I've got nerve pain. Okay, I've got some nerve pain in my toes, or I've got some nerve pain in my hip. It's a listening device. Your nervous system is listening to damage in the body, or the healing process in the body, or the, pain is like a microphone. It's going, hello, Earth to Susie. We've got an issue here. And then we ignore pain, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Roll the body up. Arms are going to slice out. Turn the left hand up. Right hand comes to the hip, and then we're going to be sprinklers. And it gets stuck where it's just shooting that one stream in that one spot, and it's usually hitting a window on the house. And we just hold. And we breathe. What signals is the nervous system sending, and can we hear them over the noise of the mind? Hand slides down to right knee. That arm shifts up and over so that my body goes over my right thigh. Stretching through QL muscle back there. Trying to keep the hips square on the chair so that the pelvis doesn't swivel. And then here's the open up. We open that arm, and then either that elbow stays where it is, like Ori's got, or we've got the hand that comes all the way down and in for the modified triangle posture. Trikonasana. And we breathe. We will go there now. I love having somebody who reminds me of things. Top hand goes down to the right ankle. I was off in the universe. Ori pulled me back. It was good. Turn the heart in toward that right thigh. Breathing in.
Breathing out. And then left elbow to left thigh. Hold in just a forward fold. Actually, that was the better transition. Dun-dun. I'll have to teach it that way from now on. Big breath. See, it takes the community. Could I hear the community? All right. As we roll up from here, we're going to bring those bird beaks with us. And they're going to be like two parrots on your shoulder. You know, you got the white angel and the red angel sitting on both shoulders. So the good devil and the angel. We don't want the bad devil. We only want the good devil. But we're holding out an in. Take those thumbs and those fingers, try to point them in and down toward the biceps. Wring out a little more of the energy in the wrist space. Holding up through the collarbone space, pressing down through the sits bone space. And then lift the bird beaks to parallel and turn them out. So now we've got that 1980s, the beach is that way, the Arnold Schwarzenegger. Breathe in, breathe out. And then like magic, circle the bird beak and then open up to open palms. Breathe in. Let those hands come in front of the heart into Anahata. I used to not talk like that. I used to be like, oh, those people, they, you know, but in there, now that I've learned, it's a learning process. The thumbs come into the sternum, the palms press together, the elbows rise if they can. We make contact with what is supposed to be running our energetic system. Filter through the heart, filter through the heart. Can you hear your heart? Plug in. One of my instructors, that's like her favorite thing. Plug in. Breathe. Lean the shoulder blades back toward the chair, but give yourself 3 breaths to settle toward the back. So if I'm leaning back and in, I'm going to take a breath and then I'm going to lean back a little. And I'm going to take a breath and lean back a little. And take a breath and lean back. And when I go to settle in, pretend, okay, you've seen like a dog make circles until it finds its perfect spot. Lean in, let your spine settle, let your shoulder blades settle. Keep your Anahata just large and in charge. Thumbs touching in at that sternum space. Head pulls up and away from gravity just a little, chin tucking into the hollow of the throat. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Left leg straightens out. Hands sweep out, right knee slides up, trying to keep contact with the chair when you do. Now, if you have to lift and then grab and then bring it with you, okay, just know, pull that right thigh into the belly. Wind relieving pose. Yes, it works. Most of us are alone in our little Zoom spaces. Use it for what it's supposed to be used for. Except we have a rule. We don't do that in front of the fan. It's wrong. Breathe in. Breathe out. Left leg lifts if it can, or slide it in and just lift the heel. Find the breath. Shoulder blades. Listen to the nervous system. If you lifted a leg and you got zzz, 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 zzz from your nervous system, ooh, listen to the signal. Listen to it. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Leg slides down. Take that opposite foot, put it on top of the thigh or on top of the shin. So if you need to let go and then just reach so that it goes there, then perfect. You want to lift it up and in. So we have a little bit of contact. Lift again. Using the quads, using the belly, arms lift up. If this won't work for your body, do something else. Listen. This is Ed's fault.
We got to hear today. Breathe in, breathe out, grab onto that shin again. Left hand then grabs the right foot. The foot comes to land on the floor, pull in, modified pigeon. So if all I can do is just go here, rock the baby. Yes, rock it up. Or pull it in. Yes. Ah, you guys are so great. You just in there. What does the soul have to say? When we start connecting with the body moving into the energy system moving into the mind, and really clearing the clouds, clearing the fog. Breathe in, breathe out, and release. Hands up like Frankenstein. Reach for something beautiful and lift and lift and hold. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then back we go. 3 breaths. Breathing in. Lean it back. Breathe it in. Lean it back. Let the 3rd exhale settle you on the chair. And settle in, settle in, settle in. Oh, keep attention in the gut. Keep a little attention in the back. Make sure that the hips are square on the chair. And then right leg goes straight this time. And we want to bring that left leg up and in. Clasp it nice and tight and pull. Like you're a kid that's about to do a can opener into the pool. What are the signals? Could be Morse code. It could be coming from deep space. Could be really other dimensional. Maybe it's the 3 M's. Maybe they're whispering. Lift that right leg. Belly draws in. We're focused. Lengthen the breath. Smooth the body. Let that leg slowly come down. The left foot comes over on top of the right thigh or the shin. If we're going to reach and lift, and maybe lifting isn't the deal. Maybe it's just that we pull the shoulder blades away and we keep the heavy legs on the floor. Otherwise, if we're here, lift again. Find parallel with that leg as best you can. Reach forward or reach up. Oh, yes, so much information coming into the receptors. And it's hard to hear God when we struggle. Nah, put that leg down, bend that knee, grab up that foot with the right hand and rock yourself. Or just pull in. What was it that Ram Dass said? Thought is what stands between us and a clear view of God. Oh, I have lots of thoughts. Lots of them. Oh, pause on that. Take a huge breath. And then release the foot to the floor. Hands out. We've got to rise. Rise. Beautiful. Yep, replant those sits bones and then keep going forward, keep going forward. I'm going to go right through Ori. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to clonk heads like coconuts. Stand it straight up. Ah. And then when you're ready, plant the feet. Hands come back in to make that connection. Complete the circuit.
The messages are everywhere. It could be a hummingbird that comes and just hangs out in front of your face for a minute. That's a big message. It could be a bunny that hops up in your driveway. You've never seen a bunny in your yard in 20 years, and suddenly there's a bunny, and the bunny looks at you, and the bunny doesn't move, and the bunny just hangs out with you. Messages. It could be numbers. It could be voices. Not all the voices are crazy voices. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now shift into the right leg. Feel the hip. Take that left leg, kick it slightly forward. If you need the back of your chair, you know how to use that. Kick that foot across and then pull in. So it's like we're gluing that foot into the shin and turning out. When we do tree posture, we're smushing and then trying to pull back. This one we bring in. If you want to bring it above the knee, bring it above the knee. But squeezing in. And then hold and listen. Because a lot of the truth is in what people don't say, right? Kick that foot out to the side. Leave the left hand where it is, move the right hand out. If you need the toes on the floor, toes on the floor. Right ankle might start screaming, might be going, hot lava. Listen. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Kick that foot across the back. Reach those right hands down. Either just point at the heel and just hold center. Hold in with that heart. Listen to the body, or point the toe, grab, and hold there. For anybody that's looking for that one next step, yep, Ori's going there. Either step out and ground yourself in, or slide that hand forward. The knee turns out, and we just hold shoulder blades together. Breathing in, breathing out. Pull it in, step it. Tadasana, find that heart. So even if some of the postures aren't for you in the state that the body is in at this moment, we've got 80-year-olds amongst us. You guys know, oh, I'll just do this thing instead. You listen, you flow, you're like a Hawaiian. Your whole body is the hula. Your whole life is the hula. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Thumbs touching, shift left. Oh yeah, it's so good. Breathing, hold there, check. And then if you're ready, turn the knee out. Pull it in. So you're trying to fit yourself into, like in between two planes of glass in a fun house. So if I'm side to side and my knee is still out front, it'd be hard for me to slide through. So I want to use the connection here to pull that knee back and in. Woo. Big breath. Leave the right hand where it is. Slice the left out while you kick out the toes. Do you hear what I hear? Kick across the back. If you need to put the toes down to relieve the hot lava, relieve the hot lava. Maybe Pele has come to visit. Speaking of the hula, grab that toe if you want to. But instead of going into the forward extension, you want to put the feet side by side and just go back into that mountain posture. Go forth. Otherwise, stretch forward. Now there's a spiraling action that wants to happen in the body.
We want to hold focus, neither pulling too hard or pushing too hard. Breathe in, breathe out, slide, release, and breathe. Ah. Left hand is your receiver. Right hand becomes the bird beak. Plug it in. Plug in, because birds squawk, 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 skunk. Bring them together. This is my receiver. Sliding them together. Let the feet step wide. Little bend in the knees so that you can twist to the right. Bird beak pressing into your receptive hand. If you have long fingernails, you'll notice you get a pretty quick signal. But press just enough to complete the circuit so that both the speaking of the voice or the frequency and the receiving of that frequency, of that sound, they become one. Press those hands connected still up toward the ceiling in front of you or over you. If you need to keep those arms bent, then keep those arms bent, but we elongate like an antenna. What is mine for me to do today? Bend that back knee, sweep down. So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to sweep down and place. Yep, you're coming this way. I know, this is a new one. We're going to place those hands on that left knee and just hold. Because maybe my antenna wasn't getting the signal. So maybe I had to change the way my antenna was receiving. Holding there, breathe in, breathe out, come back up center. Breath. And then switch. Right hand, left bird beak comes in. And now you may notice that the signals that you get are different. Because now this is Chinese medicine. I'm into the center of this palm. I've got my healing plug it in. So you healers out there, plug that in, complete that circuit. Little tiny bend in the knees so we don't exacerbate anything. And then just twist to the left and hold. So we're listening to the book, Braving the Wilderness. It's a truth bomb of a book. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift those hands up. Bill and I are trying to listen to it together, so it's taking us a while to get through. And we've gotten to the chapter, pardon this, on bullshit. And how the art of bullshitting has become part of our society, where it's not exactly truth, but it's not exactly false either. Now slide through, slide through, slide through, bend that right knee, touch in there. Yep, go all the, or he's all the way at her toe. You want to go to the toe, go to the toe. Going to go to that kneecap or go to the hip. But apparently researchers are studying why it is that as humans, we feel like we need to be able to talk about anything in a group. Keep holding. We want to be able to be knowledgeable on all subjects, from politics to car maintenance to, I don't know, the person you're talking to is talking about their trip to Venice. Next time you breathe in, slide up, straighten both legs. 2 bird beaks, put them together. Slide it down in front of the heart, lift the elbows. Notice how uncomfortable that is. A bit like 2 people trying to talk at the same time. You're only going to get bits and pieces of what each other is saying, and you're going to miss the entire gist of one person or the other. So we're going to separate those bird beaks, press them straight out, and then pick a hand. Which one wants to become the listener? I'm going to do right. I'm going to turn my right toes out, and then I'm just going to cartwheel. I'm going to have my right hand down, my left hand up. So my speaker is out, talking to the universe. My ear is down toward the floor. So I'm talking in the wrong direction. I'm listening to the wrong things. What would happen if I switched hands? Listener to speaker. I mean, this is so subtle. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hold the body here for just one more moment. Bring the hands together. Speaker into listener. Lift out of your triangle. Turn those toes forward. Breathe. 2 bird beaks again. So this is kind of like our 2 bullshitters. You actually have 2 people that are talking about things that they really don't know anything about. So she says what we need to do is be more honest and aware. And so if I'm honest that this person is talking and I actually don't know what they're talking about, the honesty is, hey, can you tell me more about that? Or do you have any resources for that? I would love that. What you're talking about is very interesting. But instead in our society, we go, oh yeah. We're all guilty. Arms reach out. I can be the queen of it. And then I went, ooh, somebody just called me out. It's time to change my behavior. Turn the left toes out. Left hand listener, right hand stays the speaker. We've got 2 different agendas over here. Hold through the belly. Hold through the spine. This is where in yoga we're working through osteoporosis issues. We're pulling on those hips, strengthening bones. We're pulling on the spine space, strengthening bones, rib cage strengthening. Now switch which one is the speaker and which one is the listener. Very subtle there. Take a breath in. On the breath out, the hands come together at the heart. Sorry, so weird. Lift up, center, toes turn forward. Let the hands sweep away the information. And listen. Hands to thighs, breathe in. Bend the knees, let the body sink down. And then cat and cow, relieve any tension, squeeze anything out. If you need to go in circles, either way. You want to drop one shoulder and then the other. Make it yours. So I challenge us all. You guys are way better at this than I am. Hold center, flatten the back. Tailbone tips up so that if somebody walked by with a coffee cup, they could put it right in the center of your back or on your sacrum and just keep it there. It's hot coffee, by the way. You don't want it to spill. No cosmic coffee on the back. If you want to let the arms go so that the wings spread, do that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring the hands into that heart chakra. Make those thumbs come together. Press into the feet. Lift.
and just listen. Listen to the body. Do I want to go back down into my chair, or do I want to come down into seated position on the floor? If seated position would feel good, put a cushion or a blanket up underneath you. Find where it is that you would like to go. Ori's going to head to the floor, so I'll head to the chair. And as we reconfigure ourselves, you're welcome to just sit and ground yourself down and in. Part of the shamanic life path involves mastery over the extremes of existence. Energetic highs followed by crushing fatigue, feeling taxed beyond our limits of body and mind. Perhaps even an experience of a symbolic death of the personality. A profoundly challenging illness in body or mind, or a period of spiritual darkness, which eventually leads you to healing rebirth. These are all possible ways that the soul can progress through its training. Such challenges are a form of initiation, teaching the soul to become able to consciously contain and channel energy according to its will, rather than being tossed by the forces of the world. It takes time and practice, but eventually the soul learns to live from a place of inner balance and spiritual grounding. The soul is empowered to guide others through what has been mastered, moderating and containing what is required for healing. This evokes balance in the lives of those you touch. Right. So if right now is one of those really difficult times in your life, this could be the tossing. This could be the challenging, so that some of that other stuff rises and we can really look at it. We can hear it as it comes forth. And so we can feel it as it squeezes out and transmutes into something else, so that then we're a clear channel. And then we look beyond ourselves instead of looking within. We reach for hands, gloved hands. We air hug. We aura bump. All of those things. We become more clear. Take a breath. Ground to crown. Find that prayer, bring it into the heart as we reground. Left hand stays where it is, right hand reaches out and stops a bus. Fingertips flipped up. Lean away, so lean to the left. And just hold. Kind of like a cosmic dab. Breathing it in. Breathing out. Flip the wrist and then slice it down. Reach down if you're in a chair, maybe reach down like your glasses fell up under the chair. And then if you guys, yep, Ori's got it. She's got that arm across her thigh. And those in the chair can do that too. You can reach across and get a really nice stretch out of that upper back. But if we're gonna reach down, we just simply reach down, working on those osteoporosis issues. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep that right arm up and over to that left knee. Now the left hand sweeps back. There's your sprinkler. Stop the bus coming behind you. Bit of a spinal twist. Big breath in. Big breath out. Unwind. Find that heart space again.
What do you hear now? Left hand reaches out. Stop the bus. Right thumb, contact with that sternum, completing that energetic connection. Reach up and over. You may feel a sensation in your fingers as you stretch through the forearm and the wrist. Big breath in and out. Flip those fingertips out and down, and then either sweep all the way through following Ori, sweep up under the chair and hold there, or all the way across the lap. Getting that little bitty twist, but that shoulder blade stretch. Be mindful that bottom hand is still got that little shovel in there. Breathing in, breathing out. We reach up, we switch. That left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh, and that right hand sweeps back. I was making sure I had it right. Like, wait a minute. Yes. This is what happens when I do something differently than the way I normally do it. I have to learn. Ooh. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come forward. Hands to the lap this time. If your legs are crossed, crisscross applesauce, uncross and recross in your non-dominant direction. For those of us in the chair, slide forward. For those of you that are flat on the floor, reach forward. If you want to put a cushion under the hands or another chair, that's pretty yummy. I'll show you what that looks like. If you've got more than one chair, it could look like this. This is like the greatest thing on the planet. We're all just going to be sitting around at the dinner table doing this. Be like, what you doing? Oh, I'm just sitting around, relaxing, stretching across another chair. But if you just folded forward on the floor, start to reach alternately a little more with one hand and then the other. If you're into the back of a chair, just hold there or cross the forearms. Let the heart drop a little more. If you're reaching from a seat and you want to reach one hand at a time, you want to keep one hand on one thigh while you reach with the other. That keeps us in tune with that low spine so that we don't reach too far out of that SI joint. Find breath. Ori and I were listening to Sharon Salzberg this morning, and she said one of her instructors is like, go to the breath. It's portable. Go to the breath. It's readily available. Go to the breath. It's what's available. It's what's there. It's the resource that goes with us. Next time you breathe in, let that body slide up. Let the head level over the shoulders. Let the shoulders level over the pelvis. Whatever part of you is touching the floor, feel the weight of the body as it presses down into those body parts. And then be honest here. It's hard. You're going to be the listener, palms together, because you struggle with listening. If we happen to be that person, and a lot of it, all of us are, depends on what's going on. We listen to someone long enough just to say what we want to say or prepare our answer. You know, I was listening to it in Braving the Wilderness, and I'm like, yeah, I've heard that in psychology before. So if listening has been a struggle lately, put your ears together, put your receivers together. If there's a truth that has been bubbling and speaking the truth has been an issue lately, put your bird beaks together. So I'm not going to look at the screen. It's not going to matter one way or the other. Just, this is for you. What is my struggle? Listening or speaking? Y'all know me. Speaking isn't a problem. So I got to put my ears together. That's the truth. And give yourself 3 breaths in that truth. Because in this moment, what would happen if I just honored that truth? I spoke it, or I paused and I listened more. On your 3rd exhale, bow the head down to that truth. Honor yourself and your journey, because Lord knows some days are harder than others. Today could be your breezy day. Today could be your hard day. Lifting the head, finding a space to relax in. If you're in a chair, settle the sits bones, settle the spine. If you're on the floor and you want to stay in a meditative position, stay there. But whatever's going to be your Shavasana today, wherever it is that you need to go. If you've got an extra chair and you're seated, boom, look at that. It's nice stuff. So settle. If you want to lay down on your mat or lay on the floor and put your legs up the wall, honor the body. Honor who you are. It used to drive me crazy when my instructor would say, honor the witness. I was like, I don't see anything. What are you talking about? I don't see anything. Oh. Witness your truth. And while you're witnessing, go into the listening space. Use the breath to draw you further in. And I love these meditation cards because they actually give you something you can do. And it has a healing process. If you feel like participating manually, go into the ears. Listen for the loudest sound you can perceive. And then listen for the most subtle sound you can perceive. Both of those sounds are sacred. Now, if there's a frequency that wants to be heard coming from your body, recognize it, become aware of it. And then honor it because it is sacred. Yes, even hard things can be sacred. If you feel like moving a little, gently rub your ears. Tug at the earlobes. Loosen the jaw and massage lightly around the base of the ears and right behind the points of the jaw. Moving into that connection of where the ears start to filter information, or where the jaw and the mouth disseminate the truth. And then letting hands become still and visualize or pretend that your ears can relax. You start to slide down the side of your head. The inside of the ears become heavy. The jaw loosens and more space appears between top teeth and bottom teeth. And then I'll say this slowly if you want to repeat after me, or you can just hear. It's a prayer of release. I release from my ears on all levels, physical, electrical, and spiritual. Anything that is not of the divine. I release all lies and criticisms. I release all pain. I soften and let go so that my ears can become empty and ready to receive the healing comfort of great beloved Spirit. I invite in the truth of unconditional love, divine guidance, and sacred silence. And so it is. Rest in that as long as you need to. Om with us, or else Ori and I will om you out. And then if you just need to sit and contemplate, this would be a great class to do a journaling exercise after. Belly, ribs, and collarbones. Sighs, ohms, shaloms, Allahs, anything is welcome. Whatever is your truth. Breathe into the belly. Ribs. Collarbones. We stumble as all stumble, and we do our best not to judge the self that is on this journey and on this path. Namaste. I'm going to hit the leave. So those of you that want to stay where you are, stay where you are. I love you.